If it was operated out of a feeling, if it was operated out of emotion, honestly, I don't think I would still be here.
The day of the wedding, the day of making the vows, it's all beautiful, it's all celebration, but reality is waiting for us.
You know, you're suffering. And I think if it wasn't for God, always been the glue because we've overcome a lot.
Bonjour et bienvenue dans Les Tangs, notre podcast de motivation et d'inspiration. Ici, nous croyons en la force du lien, en la puissance du partage. Je suis partagé, votre élément préféré.
Salut Yema, comment ça va aujourd'hui?
Bonjour productrice, ça va très bien de mon côté, j'espère que toi aussi.
Alors, de quoi on parle aujourd'hui?
Aujourd'hui, c'est notre spécial Saint-Valentin et j'ai envie d'explorer l'amour sous un angle différent.
Ok.
Et pour cela, j'ai des invités spéciaux avec moi. And it's going to be in English and French, maybe.
All right, let's go.
Some people believe in love at first sight. Others think that love needs time to grow. But what if love were not just a feeling, not just a sentiment, but a calling, ministry, purpose? We're going to explore romantic love from a different angle today. For this special Valentine's Day, and for that, I have my guest with me, a special couple, my favorite couple, Les Tangs.
Yeah.
Welcome, Lydie. Welcome, Kevin. It's a pleasure to have you, two of you here today.
No, the pleasure is all ours.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for accepting our stretched hand. Let's talk about this topic. You are a beautiful couple and you've put your love story out there for people to see. Tell me, how did you meet each other?
So there's two versions. I'm going to give the real version, okay? And the shorter version.
The more concise.
The more concise.
Okay.
So we met at an event after church. It wasn't love at first sight. Lydia was leaving and she had to plate the food. And she was like, who wants it? And I was hungry, I got it. And then she left and we saw each other a few weeks later. Nothing really happened. And then it was an ad on Facebook that sparked a conversation that led us to like meeting. And then a God thing. And then we got engaged after 5 months.
Wow, this is a very
Got married
accelerated
after
version.
a year. I mean, it's just...
That sounds as crazy. As you say it in that shorter version, that's how crazy it sounds.
Hold on. You met and 5 months later you were engaged.
Yeah.
Okay, but it wasn't love at first sight.
No.
Okay, but it grew very fast.
Very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a God thing. When it's God, it flows. When it's you, sometimes it's forced. But when God is in it, He just makes it happen, really. And then today we're here, married for 8 years, 3 kids. Yeah.
Awesome. Were you in search of a life partner back then?
No, so for me, no, I was not. I was in a season where I thought of celibacy and I wanted to wait until the end of my 20s. I was even said to God, I was like, God, I don't mind if I'm 30, even early 30s before I meet my husband. I thought it was a time that I said, God, I want this just to be you and me. I just want this time to be you and I. So I was not looking for a husband.
I was searching. I was ready.
You were ready.
I told God I want to be married at 25. And time was ticking. I was like, I was
You were
ready. I was desperate.
3.
Yeah, but I was ready. I've been single my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds so
No,
good.
24.
So now what I gather is that you met in the church premises.
Yeah.
In the context of
Not in Alinjana. It wasn't even church
But
premises.
it was
I mean, it's the context of your activity
Yeah.
as members of the same church.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you look back at your encounter, when you met each other, do you see the hand of God in it?
Clearly.
Yeah.
Because Lydia, if I may say, like she wanted to come to France, but she said to the Lord, everything but Paris.
When I was on my year abroad, yeah, I wanted to.
And Hillsong wasn't even her church. Let's just say it. Like she came to visit because she was missing the English side because she was going to a French church up in Pontoise. So you see me born in Cameroon, in Douala, her from a village up north of England. She wanted everything but landed in Paris. Me being in Paris, grew up here. It was
And if
clearly
it
love.
even takes,
Destiny calling.
if I take it back
Each and every
a tiny
one
bit further, even the degree that I was studying, every university in England, I'd applied to study just psychology. The only university I got accepted into was psychology with French, and studying French allowed me to get my year abroad. So even to that degree, God's hand was orchestrating our calling.
Awesome. The Bible in the book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 19, we are told this: we love because he first loved us. What do you make of that? Do you distinguish this love from romantic love, or the love that God is talking about here? Is it the love that you're applying to each other?
Want to go first?
Yeah. I think for me, it definitely is a Christ-centered love. We recently found some old conversations when we were in the dating phase of the things that I was saying to Kevin that I felt that like God's hand was upon what I was saying, that God wanted me to love Kevin with a Christ-centered love, because I think the way that God wanted Kevin to feel love was only with the love that God could give. And, and even to this day, I feel like what we walk through, I feel that the way that I love Kevin, there is nobody on this earth that can love Kevin the way that I do. There's no other love that I can give him that will cover a multitude of sins and everything that 1 Corinthians 13 asks us to love. I feel that as his wife, as being part of him, this is all Christ-centered love. It really is a calling. It isn't just, if it was operated out of a feeling, if it was operated out of emotion, honestly, I don't think I would still be here. But when you feel that it's God's hand calling you to love this man the way that I love him, because the way that I love you, that is how I can love Kevin.
Wow.
Kevin,
Wow.
do you think that your love, the love between you, is a calling, it's a ministry, or it's just sentiments, feelings that you express for each other?
I definitely know it's a calling, because how I knew Lydia was my wife, we actually took time apart to see God's face, because obviously it happened quickly. So after 3 months of dating in Paris, she was going back home. So we took time apart to hear from the Lord, and God spoke to her about prophecy I received in my life that she didn't know about, and then how she would help me to do the thing God has called me to do. So I definitely knew marriage was a ministry, and then I needed my helper in a way that like God has orchestrated it. And then I know that like the things that I can do is I can only do it because of Lydia with me. And it's proven with social media and everything. She's the backbone of everything that we're doing, because she's my rib. Maybe one, yeah. She's my helper, yeah.
I get to understand that you have a very busy schedule. You're a parent of 3 young kids, and you're there on social media, very busy. And besides that, you also have your other professions.
Yeah.
I suppose that you should, like every other person, encounter some difficulties, some challenges, and like a couple, put together by God. How do you face these challenges? How is your day-to-day life like?
Want to go first? Or is it
You.
I mean, honestly, I feel like we've been together for like 20 years, because we've gone through a lot together. We've experienced trauma, losses, disappointments, and like what they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Exactly.
I feel like sometimes we're just in the trenches, to be honest. Sometimes it's just hard, because being a parent to 3 kids back to back, sometimes like you lose yourself as a couple, because you don't have time to just have a date.
Yes, sir.
And whenever you have free time, you're just exhausted. You just want to take a nap. And then social media, for a long time, it was a full-time job. So you get paid for what you put out there. So if you don't put anything, you don't make money. So the pressure of people look at your life in a certain way. They kind of think you have it together, where sometimes, you're suffering. And I think if it wasn't for God in our relationship, He's always been the glue, because we've overcome a lot, like whether it was things that we experienced as a couple, there's been time we didn't think we'll make it, to be honest with you, without I don't know, I can how deep I can go with that, but we've gone through a lot. We've gone through a lot together.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I think it does come from that element of unconditional love, in the sense that I always go back to our wedding vows, and I say, I vowed before God and before our witnesses that I would love you for better, for worse, for sickness, for in good health, in sickness, for richer, for poorer, until death do us apart. And I said, those are what I'm going to stand on, and that, you know, we had no idea of what we would encounter on the other side of the I do.
Yeah.
But I'm vowing to love you unconditionally.
Wow. By the way, in the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4 and verse 8, it says, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins.
I love that verse.
Yeah, Lydia, tell us a bit more about this. You just made a statement here by saying that when you said I do during the vows, you didn't really know what was waiting for you on the other side of the I do. And I think that's really where many couples, young couples, face the same thing like you. The day of the wedding, the day of making the vows, it's all beautiful, it's all celebration, but reality is waiting for us.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're also in a social media generation where we have this idealized, this polished version before our eyes of what marriage is, of what marriage goals are, of what the perfect couple and relationships are. But it's not it. You know, I think why I go back to my vows, and I think why vows exist, is because it's a glimpse that there are going to, if we say for richer and for poorer, if we say for in good health and in sickness, that means there will be sickness, there will be times of poverty, there will be difficult times. And I've had to rely on knowing that God called me to love this man through it all. So on those really hard days when I might be saying, I don't actually like this person today, I don't actually want to be around him, I feel God say, but I'm going to call you to love him harder. I say, right, okay, God, what does that look like? And I feel that God would just say, I've allowed you to see his true colors. I've allowed you to see his multitude of sins because I'm supplying you with a love that will cover it.
Wow. You better preach.
And I think I just want to add that being a Christian couple, because that's what we're talking about here, the Bible verse that assures us of God's presence and God's help, that is, he will never leave nor forsake us. It's applicable even in the, in the midst of all of that.
Yep. Yes, it definitely is. Because I also rely on the fact that God knows Kevin best, and God knows myself best. And so when we go through those hard times, I'll trust that we're going to come out better from it.
And also with this verse, multitude of sin, is like, we have this idea that like this person is perfect. And I always say, look at the flaws of that person, because when you're in that new honeymoon phase, they breathe, you love it. They fart, you don't mind. They burp, you're like, oh, you're beautiful, But there's gonna, But I love in English where you say like and love.
Yes.
Because in French we don't have that. Because there's gonna be time you don't like the person. And I always said to Lydia, I'm so glad we never made eternal decision on those temporary emotions. Because there's been time we don't like each other because you get on each other's nerve. And
it's not times, it can be extended periods. It can be weeks.
Months or years. People think.
Well, we've not been in the years, but we've been in the months where we don't want to really be in the same room as one another.
There's some you're like, I want to see this person.
Letting each other.
Yeah, because marriage, you take vows. There's time you don't like your person. You don't like your person, and that's okay. And the other day we're looking at each other, we're like, I like you again. I'm like, for a few, I could, But
we would say though that
Let me know, in moments like that, what exactly do you do? Do you pray? Do you go for counseling? Do you seek God's face?
To be honest, I feel like, I always say, God is always part of our lives, right? There's time like, the devil will attack us and you don't want to pray as much. But we always trying to do a spiritual activity to keep God with us. He's always there. So I feel like even there's time like, because we have kids, we work together. Like you have to talk. We can't just go there without talking.
And those are values that you're transmitting to the
our kids. So it's like, it's not like we're war zone. It's just like you don't feel as connected emotionally to your partner
You
because
just need your me time.
exactly.
Because our life circumstances are making it harder, and
Yeah.
when our lives are very intertwined, we work together,
Together.
we raise our children together, we live together. We don't have a typical
9 to 5.
9 to 5 where we both go out the house, we both come back. We are very much in each other's personal space
For the past
24/7.
7 years, we've been together 24/7.
So it can become a lot, but that's when I think I will seek God's face on how do I navigate this, and I always feel it comes back to the way that I'm supposed to love him. And I always think there'll be a moment that we'll be filming a video, and when we click play, we might not necessarily want to speak about what we're speaking about, but because God is at the center of our relationship, we invite him to be there. We'll realize that talking about this video will be a healing way for us to realize, oh, okay, yeah, we're actually helping other people right now, but we're helping ourselves as we're.
Yeah. Social media, I feel like it's therapeutic for us. People are getting blessed, but we are blessed through it.
Yes.
Is it not a challenge to put your faces out there on social media?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean, how social media came around was also a God thing. It wasn't something that we chose to willingly walk into. We felt more that it was something that God put in our hearts and we accepted it, and it's something that we do. So it is challenging because I think to be able to see that everything that God has put in us, it can be challenging to successfully transmit that, keeping our privacy.
It's just like Lydia said, it's like when you said yes to the Lord, you don't know what comes with the yes. And we're just being obedient because we felt like this is a godly marriage, a divine, orchestrated by God. And then it's like God is using us to show people that two imperfect people choosing to follow him can succeed. And we're trying to show our followers that we're not perfect. So when people are like...
Marriage like a ministry.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do
exactly.
believe marriage is our ministry.
Exactly.
And I also have this verse which says, that which God has put together, let no one put asunder. Right? No one should separate that which God has put. So no matter how much challenges come, no matter what difficulties you face, God puts you together for a reason.
Amen.
And let nothing put
Separate.
you asunder. Watching you guys on social media, the message that you put across is quite different from what we see nowadays. Social media is, these conversations about couple roles, sharing responsibilities, emotional burdens and stuff like that. What do you think about all of that? And what advice would you give to other couples?
It's funny because I was talking about it with Lydia because when you go on social media, you see these conversation about if he doesn't make 6-figure, don't talk to him. And I said to Lydia, you wouldn't be with me today then. I wouldn't, because I don't make 6 figures yet. And then we always joke about it because today I feel like people don't enjoy a journey that you're with a person. They just want, like if your guy takes you, he needs to take you on he doesn't spend €300 the first day. What is this a real date? I took Lydia on our first day to the Jardin du Palais Royal because I was broke. I took her because I had no money for a coffee. We sat down. I was like, what's the point of it? Is to get to know the person, right?
Yeah.
Is it about where you are? It's about who you're with. Yeah. Because what we've learned, we've had season where you have a lot of money, season where you have less. The Bible says, I know what it is to have a lot, what it is to have little, but I'm happy what I have. And it's like we've learned that like what's important is us and the foundation and growing together and building together. So it looks different for us. I feel like because we do everything together, sometimes Lydia will do things that are supposed to be a man role, or I'll do things supposed to be a woman's role. But it's more a team. Yeah. It's like helping each other. Exactly. And my mom always used to tell me, you don't want your wife to be tired. She's like, if she's cooking and cleaning, taking care of the kids, and at night she's supposed to take care of you, no, help your wife. So it's just about helping one another. So for an advice is, if you're African like me, or you were raised seeing a man doing nothing, just providing financially, I've learned to provide emotionally, spiritually, and it's more powerful, I think, for me than just giving money. Because when you have to be there, actually your time, listening and caring for their soul. I always say my wife is like a flower. I'm the one watering it. So if you look at her blossoming, it's because I have to take time to take care of my flower.
Definitely.
So beautiful. That's so beautiful. Indeed. You are each other's keeper.
Yes.
You are the help that God created for him. Yeah. You found a wife and you found a good thing and obtained favor from the Lord.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's so beautiful. Yeah, Lydia, what do you think about what Kevin just said? Do you feel the same way? What about this idea whereby, you hear people 50-50, what is she bringing on the table, or what is he bringing on the table? What is your take about all of that?
Yeah, I definitely don't think that 50-50 roles exist. I think if we see that online, then it's not 100% the truth everywhere. I don't think that can exist. I think that God gave us different roles, that's for sure, but I don't think that looks like an equal split. I think that looks like, how can I help you today? And I think, as Kevin said, I think it goes further than catering for the typical gender roles. Perfectly, that he said that if it's not as the man financially providing for the household, then I think providing in an emotional state, in a spiritual state, in just being present with his family, I think it's more about looking at what are our values in our family, are Christ's values, and so how can he be nurturing those values in our home? And I think it's more looking at like, okay, Lord, how do you want me to be in my home today? I think it's more asking God, how can I be here for my family today, rather than what am I supposed to do as the man of the household.
The entire family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Treating each other the way you love them to treat you.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. This is amazing. What would be your advice to, some young people expecting, Christian marriages or waiting on the Lord for a life partner? What would you tell them?
I mean, I would definitely tell them, for me, I was in a phase of my life that I was not looking for my husband. I wasn't expecting it to be anytime soon, but I had recently spent time almost studying this with the Lord, and I'd felt like he had told me that I need to have a wife's mentality. So in the Bible it says he who has found a wife has found a good thing. It doesn't say he who has found a girlfriend, it doesn't say he who has found a fiance, it doesn't say he who has found a booty call. It says he who has found a wife has found a good thing. So I really felt God was telling me to have a wife's mentality, even though it wasn't something I was actually looking for. I wasn't in a phase of my life looking for my husband, but little did I know God was preparing my heart so that when I met Kevin found a wife, and I also had understood that goes with that is to trust God above anything else, and to trust God's plan over even my plans, because ultimately God only has my best intentions at heart.
And I would just add to that, as a man, it's important to have a vision. I think sometimes people look at a situation today. Lydia saw the vision that I had.
Long term.
Exactly, because at the time when we met, I was just coming back from America. I was in a state of transition. I was staying at my mom, but she saw where I was going. Because sometimes I think women can miss out on he's not there yet. I'm not talking about trying to save a man. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's important for a man to have a clear vision, to know where he's going. I knew where I was heading at, and I told her clearly, we're doing this. If you want to be part of the journey, come with me. So I think it's important for, if you're a man looking for marriage, have a clear vision, spend time with God. And that took time of fasting and praying and looking for God, what do you want to do with my life? And once I did that, it was easy for my search, because I know where I'm going. So it's easy for you to filter, is this person going to be the right fit for the journey? So yeah.
By the way, Les Tangs, where can we find you? What are your platforms?
You can find us everywhere on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. So Instagram and TikTok will be Les Tangs, LES.TANG.
LES, full stop, TANG.
And on YouTube is Kevin and Lydia Becoming a Family. Obviously, we have a program for single and young married couple. You can follow us on Coaching by Les Tangs. We have exclusive videos if you're looking to get ready, if you're single, or if you're a young married couple, you didn't do marriage prep. You can reach out to us, DM us. We do coaching as well.
That's great.
That's awesome. Please go follow them. You will not regret. They have a bunch of good advice, counseling to give you. Follow them. Thank you so much for being here. In fact, it was an amazing conversation. You are my kid, right?
Yes.
And to see this alignment between your generation and mine it just warms the heart and it's so inspiring to other people. And for those of you out there, I'll just add these few things. That for those of you looking for a marriage, as Christian marriage, for instance, I'll advise that you tie love back to God's purpose. Love is far beyond mere feelings. Love is a ministry. We love because God loved us first. God leaves this commandment to us. He says we should love one another just like He loved us. So whether it's in romantic love or whatever love, apply God's principles. Love is a covenant. It's an agreement you take with somebody. Love is ministry. Do God's work through your union. Thank you.
Merci à
Bye.
tous.
N'oubliez pas de partager, liker et commenter. Merci d'avoir écouté cet épisode d'une main tendue. Rappelez-vous que parfois, il suffit d'un mot, d'un geste ou d'une main tendue pour tout commencer ou recommencer. C'était Martaché, votre humain préféré. Et je vous dis à bientôt.